real-time audience participation. Voice of the people.
A very good morning to you. My name is Patrick Chifwambo, joining the Queens of Breakfast on Voice of the People. Our guest this morning, Mr. Jarius Ngoma, who is the Secretary General of the Leadership Movement. A very good morning to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Brother Patrick, and of course, Madam Shekaina. We are very grateful. It's a new year yet again, and we
Indeed.
are happy as Leadership Movement. Of course, the President was conveying what we can appreciate is that you are the fourth estate to do with governance, and we feel that the media, you were supposed to be given a better policy where with the load shedding around, look at the difficulties what you go through in terms of disseminating the information, educating us and entertain us. But it's sad that you are given names that you are liars. How can you be called liars?
Before we get too far, tell us about the Leadership Movement.
Thank you very much. Leadership Movement entails leadership. We are leaders. We are not mere politicians. We mean that as leaders, you need to have an ideology. An ideology we should inculcate people to work, and it should not just be people just using rhetorics. So Leadership Movement is a political party whose leader is Dr. Richard Silumbe. It was formed in the 2018. We took part in the 2021 general elections up to speed. If you are following, we are all over. We are in Nyimba recently. We are in Petauke. We have been very active, and as a party, we are a party which is based on the ideology of the people. For the concept of those who are listening for the first time, we are talking of the land. Land being our birthright. We are saying this land should be protected. We need to give it a protection in the name of the title deeds, because these title deeds, it means Zambia will be taken now as a serious country. No landlords, the landlords should be the Zambians themselves. And this land, it means, Brother Patrick, when you are no more, your children will be protected. Today, we are going through what we are going through because land is being given, which is our birthright. Our minerals are there. You look at the arable land, but we ourselves, we have been given names that we are squatters in our own country. How do you relate to that? Look at Burkina Faso. They have taken charge of the natural resources.
So, you took part in 2021. How did you fare?
It was, you know, the 2021 general election, it was a very crucial year because there was no time for campaigns if you follow what was happening there. And we didn't fare very well. And for leadership movements, because we are leaders, we pick it up from where we left. And if you check, going by ECZ calendar, you are going to see that we are no longer getting the zeros we used to get then. So that means that our ideology is slowly being accepted because we are the ones who started talking about ZNS run state mines. We are the ones who started talking about ZNS state farms. We are the ones who started talking about possessing what we have, the NAS, nationalistic agenda for Zambia, where we need to possess things of our own. Unlike you surrender all your minerals. Brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina, 60 years of independence. Imagine our parents, they were not educated as they were. They were running the national airline. They had the Mansa battery, Mulungush textiles. Here we are. We are even surrendering our own roads to foreigners for a good 25 good years. You even surrender your targets. We are saying, under the leadership movement, you are going to see a different narrative where we take advantage of our young people, educated or not. Now, Brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina, we're not saying education is a bad thing, but we are coming from an engineering background ourselves. And Dr. Richard Silumbe, for those who are listening for the first time, he is a professor in engineering. He went to do his programs in Russia there. From Russia, he went to South Korea. So in engineering, we know that at this point, for one to dig a foundation, you don't require a document. All we are saying, if Zambians, Brother Patrick, can get free NRCs, we are about 18 to 20 million Zambians. How is it difficult for us to be also protecting our land? Because the title deed is not something that you can be trying to struggle. So what we are saying is the land should be protected. When foreigners come, we should partner with them in the win-win, unlike we surrender what we have.
So when you say partnering with foreigners, what do you say exactly? So then do we say we go into a 50-50 profit sharing? How exactly would you break it down if we say we're following what you are a big proponent of when it comes to customary rights?
Thank you very much. All that is colonialism. There will be nothing like customary land and state land. Look at the war happening in Russia-Ukraine war. They are fighting for their land. Israel-Palestine war, they are fighting for their land. This was a colonial setup whereby they tell you, oh, Patrick, imwe tamwikani ku customer land. Isetili ku state land. Patrick mkapezeka ku state land, bamfuzani makweche, how have you found yourself here? But them, they come and displace you, give themselves titles, and they get what they see there. That's why they are a law which was saying you need to have what we call surface rights and underground rights. Now, what that meant was you can do agriculture on the surface, no problem. Should you get the wealth underneath, then you are called a name, you are illegal because you are interested in minerals. So what we are going to do as a leadership movement, the way we get NRC, it will be the same way land will be allocated to the Zambian people. Then you attach the value of the title deed. If you have a piece of land, fertilizer should be given according to your size of your piece of land, because you can't give fertilizer using the NRC. There are no hectareage there. So imagine a farmer is told, no, in my exam percent fertilizer, in 100 by 100 hectares, then you give them, say, 1 bag. How are they going to manage? But if you use the GPS now, you look at the size of that person, and once you give a title deed now, you, Madam Shekain and Brother Patrick, it means you have the inheritance now. These foreigners, we don't hate them. What we are simply saying, if your piece of land can manage to have some sweet potatoes, let them not chase you. They should go in partnership. Look at East Pakmo, Unza, a very good example. If you go there, Brother Patrick, that land is under the title deed of Onza. But East Pakmo, they have gone into partnership with Onza. So after a specific period of time, they will leave. So that's a concept we are trying to educate ourselves, that we can't allow our country to be a playground where things are just given, the minerals are going, and you are clapping, mines are going to the foreigners. Look at Nsaka Stock Exchange. They don't even buy any shares there. The money, they go outside, and what we get is petty cash. So we were supposed to control things of our own. We are going to bring what we call the Mineral Reserve Agency, just like Food RA. FRA, they allow you, Madam Shekaina, when you grow your maize, you go there with no problem. They'll buy your maize. They'll not ask you about a license. But on the piece of land you are growing the very maize, you drill a well, you find minerals. If it's in Chongo, you have copper, Rufunso, you have gold. They will say, Timu Gwiran. That is colonialism. We needed to change the way things are supposed to be done, so that Zambia, we start controlling things of our own, unlike allowing foreigners to take
Mr. Ngoma, you've touched on quite a number of issues. Maybe let's break it down. Tell us about the vision of the leadership movement.
Thank you very much. The leadership movement is mandate. Quickly, we've been talking tough about land ownership with title deeds. We've been talking tough about job creation, educated or not. We want ZNS to be the main contender in the aspect of production, because, Brother Patrick, you agree with me that the children that they have given them that to say they are junkies, that is capital. We were supposed to take them in these state farms. They become productive, meaning you and me, when we are doing our day-to-day transaction, you will not be prone to the violence which they are inflicting on innocent souls. So jobs, we are going to look at, we know they are in categories. There are those who are educated and those who may not be educated, but they have the muscular, they have the energy, and they have the innovation. So government will be the #1 contender to go into state farms, and the government again will take advantage of the mines, because we are going to have what we call the NAZ, Nationalistic Agenda for Zambia, where we as a country should take charge of our natural resources so that we control what our forefathers left us. #3, we are talking about tax breaks and tax holidays, meaning places like where we are here, you the media, if you are to compete like BBC, Al Jazeera and all that, there was supposed to be a policy where media should be helped to look at the state of art equipment, for example. How about there is plenty of energy in the community right now, which you, Brother Patrick, given the mandate, you can change their fortune, because you can even come up with the Zambian film industry here at Power FM, which you are already doing with your little resources. But imagine if there was a policy. Those young people were going to be held by Power FM here, because there are a lot of activities you do here, but there's no supporting policy. So for us, we know that without the media, you can't talk of production. So production entails that information should go to the people, and the very people should be educated that you cannot fight hunger with loans. You can only fight hunger when you are inclusive. All your young people are taken to production. So the tax breaks and tax holidays, we are talking of local businesses, should also enjoy, unlike you allow foreigners just arriving at the airport, they're enjoying tax holidays. But you and me, just going at ZRA, there is a problem. So we're saying, support your local team. Local is Laka. That is the fourth pillar, meaning we ourselves, we need to take charge of what God has given us, because in case people don't know, where you see a national park, underneath Super Ken, there are minerals there. Where you see a forest, underneath there are minerals there. Where you see a state farm, there are minerals there. But you go and get foreigners with a planes that no, they are doing coordinates. What coordinates? We needed to take charge of what is already at our disposal.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Ngoma. You can definitely tell that you're very passionate about this. And well, this is Voice of the People. We're giving you the chance to speak up. And you can call us up right now. Send us your messages. That's on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485. We've touched on many topics. And well, I would like to find out what your party's position is when it comes to cybersecurity and the Cyber Crimes Act. This has been quite a big conversation lately in Zambia. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much, Brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina. To start with, we are leaders ourselves. We are very objective. And this is why when we speak, we have even made it very clear that even the church, we need to respect it. The office of the presidents, we need to accord it respect. But this is not to say that we can keep quiet when things are not going okay. The first thing that we are going to challenge ourselves as a people, when we are making these laws, we should be asking ourselves questions. Is this going to build or is going to destroy? So the previous regime, they brought that law. The previous regime, they brought that law. At that time, the bill rather, it was a bill. At that time, we want to salute them because there was consensusness. That's why President HH at some point, he made it very clear, this law is not going to be okay for the Zambians to infringe on their freedoms and their liberties. And people listened. Alas, when he formed the government, why he didn't go the same route of consensus? But what we saw was in no time, that law was suspended from Parliament. No, we are trying to do consultation. The next thing we hear, it has been ascended to law. Now, if we are to challenge here, UPND, we cannot blame them. We are blaming the people who brought it without thorough consideration. And now, we are warning our UPND. This very cyber law, it will crack them down big time. Because if they have done it for the sake of the enemies, the opposition, what they should wait for is the same way the Public Order Act is brutalizing opposition. We are saying this in black and white. UNIP, Brother Patrick, when we took power, we went ahead with the colonial laws, and UNIP was finished by MMD, because UNIP carried along with the Public Order Act. When they left office, MMD finished UNIP. When PF came, Brother Patrick and Madam Shakaina, who finished MMD? It is a very PF. And Honorable Felix Mtatu was even ascended to...
Now, Mr. Ngoma, when you say you blame those who brought the cyber law bill, act, who are you blaming?
We are blaming the PF then.
Okay.
Because at that time, we were supposed to look at why is the production? Because we were supposed to be saying, how are we going to be manufacturing fertilizer, for example, in our country? If that was put now, we are going to challenge the head of state current now, say, how come you are not working on the aspect where we are talking of agriculture? You are a farmer yourself. So that bill was more like it, trying to target the enemy at that time. And these people also, wafika na vifukusha, wasini tukana cha beni. Okay, naine, nichi saina cha meneji, so tuone. So you see, our bantu, if they were thinking productive, they were going to bring laws which were going to build the land that we are talking about, Brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina. You go to Chingola, you remember the incident which happened in Chingola. The poor people built something there. They said, no, up and per airstrip. They didn't waste time to break. But here in Nsaka, Forest 27, where the source of Chongwe River, they told us, no, Ngatitabwera will demolish it. If they demolished it. So there is unfairness there. So where value is, we should be making sure that we concentrate. That's why leadership movement, if we were given the mandate, first thing on the agenda was land. Land was supposed to be protected to every Zambian for as long as you are a Zambian. And when we do that now, if you bring your investors in your country, when we point them, oh, mufuna ma potatoes, Chikankata we know is very good in terms of potatoes. They find Mr. Avenzu is already on that land. They will not chase Mr. Avenzu, they will cooperate with him. Unlike you chase Mr. Avenzu and say there is an investor coming. Back
to the cyber crimes.
So the cyber crime law, we are saying this law is very retrogressive in our view, looking at the level we are advancing. They look at the Americans, they have FBI, they have CIA, which they work in collaboration to make sure that, oh, this is what's supposed to be done. That law can only be backed up when we are people who are productive, we produce our minerals, our gold, our agriculture sector is on board. Then now we say, oh, people should not be scamming us. We are going to bring laws which protect our wealth. So if you ask leadership movement, even you, the media, it is going to affect you somehow because you are here to disseminate the information irrespective of where it is coming from. But you'll be now operating with that, because what do they mean when they say critical information? It is very vague. They were supposed to break it down in black and white so that, because you, the media of the self-regulatory, and when they talk of critical information, what do they mean? So at that point, you find that you are infringing on the ability of people to operate. If Ngoma has been getting to my bus from South Africa, for example, 250, vazamu kazika pants, iwe, tiuze, ndarama zako unazichosa kuti. Minwe Ngoma namba kulima ma potatoes, kumbuyo. So what is going to happen with this law? It is going to give us problems because there was no sensitization in Makombo ni umo. And because of that, people, we've been running programs, Brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina. Yesterday we were at Pasme FM, Petauke. And the participation of the people there, it was not as before this bill. Why opavantu? At wangati mange, you know kumuzi mwane kuliri. Because they waona ni chintu choyo ofya, but said, imwe simutu kwa na vantu. Kambani pali chakudya imwe kuno kupetauke vanamusiani na vimaloni vimasafu pane mwenzo vota vanampasani ndalama nanga uyu agriculture minister wanalepo mtoro pili why wenzo mgabisani mameda ma fertilizer so muna mpamvu imwe zokamba.
So let me understand this, Mr. Ngoma. Are you saying that the Cybersecurity and Crimes Act should be revisited or repealed altogether?
Before we come to that stage, we were supposed to go in the consultative process like we did. So
should it be reviewed?
Yes, that's the point.
Okay.
Because we have people who have different understanding of these things. So you have to bring them on board so that they start understanding that, chantaletera iramulo, ni ichi na ichi na ichi na ichi. Same nandarama zamine Brother Patrick. There was no consultation. Tira vantu vanzatu ole mara kunja, wali bemenso, no braille there. Because
the braille is there on the new notes.
No.
It's there.
No. I'm talking from an informed angle. We have a young man by the name of Samuel Lipekesa.
Okay.
He's blind actually. I can bring him one of these fine days here. They've been having problems, people with disabilities. We have given him that position for a simple reason.
So there's no braille features.
There's no braille on these new notes. There's nothing. So this is why people have got problems, even you and me. Mwana kugonge wa mabasi wachosa 20 kwacha ati ai nezagaza ni 200 mambo vutana wachosa 50 kwacha ai nezagaza ni 500 ni pase na kupasa 2 pini. See, you know that kind of confusion even as people who are able to see. So the point is consensusness is what is supposed to be done. So in summary, this cyber law that they have put into action, as we wish them well, but we are warning them. They should not cry the loudest because this will haunt them when they leave office. Because if you are going to apply law just to fix Patrick, Patrick kulib, yamene ijalamulo ibola kukukwesha. So we are just telling them if they are, because the president, for your information, is a church elder. What happened when the church was insulted? Say you are Lucifers. We expected him to act as a church elder. So even now, let him listen to the people that he should not bulldoze things. No, let him take it slowly and come to different places. I was at Unza yesterday. When I was even challenging that you here at Unza, did they bring such a law? So that I was with Chipo. By the way, you know the young man Chipo. I said, here at University of Zambia, we have brains. Why did the president for once say, no, I was here, so I want to find out from you, my colleagues, is this the right time for me to act such a law when agriculture is not taken care? You are producing your own fertilizer. It's going to Tanzania, 30 metric tons, 15,000 metric tons is going to Botswana. Then your own people are sharing medals. That does not augur well. Okay,
thank you so much, Mr. Ngoma. And this is Voice of the People. In case you've just tuned in, then you have caught a conversation that we're having where we're giving you the chance to speak up as well. If you've got any questions, any queries, any comments, any additions as well, you can call us up. That's on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485. In studio, we do have the Leadership Movement Secretary General, and that is Mr. Jairus Ngoma, who's just touching on the cybersecurity and Cyber Crimes Act. Once again, that's on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485. And now, Mr. Ngoma, what policies would you say you'd introduce as the leadership movement if you're in power? And that's now to intend to increase transparency, but also accountability when it comes to the mining industry, because it seems you're quite vocal about this.
Thank you very much.
Maybe before you answer that, let me see if I can squeeze in a call. Good morning. Hello, good morning. You're through the Voice of the People. We seem to have lost that. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. To be very factual, you cannot talk of the security features before you touch on the well-being of the human beings, because on the pyramidal base, on the hierarchy of needs, there is food at the base, then we have shelter, then education at the end there. So we were supposed to prioritize, first and foremost, the aspect of production. This production should cut across. We should be allowing our people to go into the mode of production by giving them a policy where you and me, when we are engaged, we have the food security. ZNS should be the #1 key contender. And like what we saw in Nyimba, where that place was a state farm in Nyimba, and it was given to ZNS. ZNS, they went to the side where Mambo village is, where Lupenga is, and now when we went there during the by-elections in Nyimba, you saw the headman Daniel being brutalized, and we were there. We told them, ZNS, this is not your land. Where the state farm is ending is road 11. So now people were afraid of ZNS to say, Ngombe Kajumpa Chabe road, Baba Dipilisa ma 200. Wampasani Mali City at EI. So we made it very clear to say, Muchoke in Uyunumuzi wa Mambo. If you've been there during the election, you saw where Mambo Day Secondary School is. There was a primary school there. That Mambo Day is the name of a village headman who is supposed to be taking charge. But wanaka fencing akajaka edi. What am I saying? I'm talking about the power of the land. People have got nowhere to graze their animals. They have been chased saying no animal. But so I suppose unkala kuja. The boundary in road 11 kuja kulika ka center kwanza kulia mamiri sevantu kuja FRA. Point we are saying, if we empower our people with a productive mode, then we can say, okay, now, digital world. What should we do? We need to work on our protection of our information. As it is, you find that we are not following the sequence, because mwana simungambirire chabe kumupeleka ku school akalibokuja Madam Shekain. So we needed to first and foremost sizauza abantu izatu mzambo kudia katatu, sizauza abantu atineneka bwera dola, mankwala yali pa production. Mutenge mwana uyo opunzira, na uzapunzira, waende mchitukuko. Wakaenda mchitukuko manje boma inkale number 1, agriculture inkale ni chani, ni business. If it's na FRA trucks, which will be helping poor people to take their commodity to Congo. So when you start using that, and on the very land you have uranium, which you can solve the problem of electricity, which is troubling us. Look at Burkina Faso. In 2 years, the young man, President Traore, they have managed to sort that problem. They are now controlling their own God. And we are here saying, no, Sivinga Chitika, iyo Burkina Faso, no aid. They have cleared their bill, about 50 million US dollar. Now they have said, Russia, help us with the currency, SIPA. And now they are doing things. So you don't rush to print the note. You are supposed to first prioritize production. So for us, we are not going to talk much. Ni pick and shovel. Pa presidential portrait, chendo vicho savage. Ukangena mu office, mufuniko pesa, the coat of arms. Kulimzimayuku, kulimzibambo, we have the ego there, we have conquered. There will be nothing to talk about. Ma prisons will turn it to be labor camps. Malawi mufuna labor, borani kuno kuzambia. I am a bola beti, Russia and Ukraine, they have banned them. That energy, kuma state farm, that is how you fight poverty. Not where mwendo gulama mattress, mpeleka ma prisons, mkaenda ma boarding schools, vana vagona ma floor. So what is that?
So Mr. Ngoma is saying that we must prioritize farming or agriculture before we even go to mining.
Madam Shekaina, you are a mother. Look at what happens. He said, "Tinkala mkombo, mtumi dada out." Bambo Patrick wa test. Kugula unga wangu wasonkera na ma 50 kwacha uzimani. Po gawana nukuguma na mitu. Because chakudya, that's where our life starts from. So if you are going to negate, UNIP inaenda, ninjala minei. MMD inaenda, ninjala minei. Wa PF wanakambati, unga na kadarism. So, na mine ababa. If they think Zambians in their quietness, we can tell you to the background, Bambo Patrick, njara iliko this year. Wasazina mabantu ati mvula inaloka, but mulimi wezo kumkonza bwanji. How was the preparation of a farmer? Because mvula inaloka mo chenjera. So wajiwenze kuna tungombe, wagula fertilizer yao. Hapa pelekeko ku Malawi kuja. Muna wazede next foot wampoka ntu mabagi tuanetumulimu nato. So that you cannot tell us that you have a priority to do with agriculture. Agriculture ndiye poyambira, Madam Shekaina and Brother Patrick, because once you do that, all of us will think properly, even when they want to bring the cyber bill. We'll be participating. Natulia, we have eaten and you are very sober. Now with the hunger, even mwana mkala sakusira na njara. So what are we saying? Njara paeka ni matenda. So wazimayi manyumba mu, we are asking you, respect your husbands, na mwazibambo, kondani wazimayi manyumba mu. Because the economy, the way it is in the hands of the foreigners. We have no control whatsoever. So we need to take charge of our God-given resource. That's the number one priority. And land is our game changer. That's why we are going to emphasize that everybody, educated or not, rich or poor, land has to be prioritized so that we are competitors in our own economy. Unlike the foreigners, they come, they chase us, all of us, and say we are squatters.
This is Voice of the People. If you want to contribute or you have a question for Mr. Jairus Ngoma, who is the Secretary General of the Leadership Movement, you can come to 0955-997-997 or 0979-192-485. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the constitutional amendment proposals. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much. Again, that is not an emergency, Brother Patrick.
Kindly hold your thought. Let's see if we can squeeze it on. We lost that. Please go ahead.
That is not an emergency because if you follow very well, the UPND, when in opposition, they cried the loudest when the Bill 10 was about to be brought, and they the ones who shot down the Bill 10.
Good morning. You're through the Voice of the People.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Your names and where you're calling from?
Maponga from Zoe.
Please go ahead with your question or contribution for Mr. Jairus Ngoma.
Mr. Ngoma, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I've been following this program, and what I would say is you seem to be very, very loud. And so how do we know that you won't be like other, governments that have been very, very loud, just saying things, but without being fulfilling their promises? That's my question for you.
Many thanks indeed.
didn't even get the question.
He says you seem to be very loud. How will you not be different from other politicians?
Oh, okay.
In a nutshell.
All right, okay. Oh, thank you. Brother man, I didn't get your name, but I want to appreciate you. This is the engagement, brother.
Maponga.
Mr. Maponga, right?
Maponga.
Oh, Master Maponga. Mr. Maponga, we are very grateful. You are a parent and you are a concerned citizens, and this is what we are here for. We need Zambians like you to start understanding things that a t-shirt is not a program, a chitenge is not a program. We should be challenging politicians who come here. What is it? What agenda are you bringing apart from printing the t-shirts? Leadership movement will be totally different. As I'm talking right now, brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina, in this regime, Kawe, Mpima Forest there, that place is been degazetted by the previous regime. Those people were almost chased by this regime. Kawe Municipal Council went to Mpima Forest, a sad part, a life was killed just at Mpima prisons. I was with KNC when we went there. A body was lost, he was pangered there because of the confusion. When I went there, the president assigned me. When we went there with KNC television, we discovered those people had the document from the Minister of Lands. And we told them, you were council. And graders were there waiting to, because they were just finding beacons in their portions. We said, these are Zambians. Why is it that when it comes to voting, you come here, then you chase them, then who are you going to replace them? Thanks to leadership movement and Dr. Richard Thrumbi, those people are there. Talk of in the previous regime, Zauko area, airdrome, may the soul of Brother Tutangruwe rest in eternal peace. He was a lawyer there. We went and stopped the nonsense. We went with your neighbors here, Prime Television. Records are there. If people can go to YouTube, they'll find us. And what we did there, we saved a lot of lives. People are still there. In Livingstone, we don't stay there. So the difference is that leadership movement has got the ideology base. Lumezi, you followed what was happening. They almost wanted to chase people when they found God there. We were at Feel Free in Chipata. That's why they followed us. We went there, and as we are talking, people of Lumezi, they are in peace.
Mr. Ngoma, your views on the constitutional proposed amendments?
The constitution, this is what we are saying now. This is not something that we can waste time on. The President HH should remember that the very defective constitution is saying defective. He shot down the bulletin. Where the delimitation, ni vizungu veka brother Patrick, delimitation mambo ya kutoa mbeleko mngombe. Tandauza vimaro vikakula ati mchijueko pakati, kuti chinkaleko chopepuka kusevenza. But never wakana wa president hivi. Vapanewenze mu opposition wa president church. He refused it. He says, no. I'm not going to succumb to this. And now, before he goes ahead, he should come to the Zambians and ask for forgiveness and say, I'm the church elder, I'm sorry. What I did, I was not thinking properly, because these are the very things I'm saying today. In the current constitution, where is it saying that a youth cannot stand? If Munia Zulu stood on the same constitution, which youth is it talking about? How about the blind people? Where is it saying that the blind people cannot take part? Then he wants to bring it on board. Which economy can you tell us, brother Patrick and Madam Shekaina, that you can develop by just including the youth and people with disabilities, forgetting that where it matters most is production? That's why when he was talking of voluntary ZNS, we are laughing. It should be productive ZNS. When they were talking of ZNS running the mines in 2027, we are laughing, because why 2027? Us, we are the ones who started it. And the ZNS Mirimiu, Kukopa Belt Wakambati Unga wa Malonda, who started on the 10-point plan, there was nothing to talk of production. They came as capitalists, these people. So who's got a solution? So the constitution is not something that we can waste time on. Our president should just work on the high cost of living, and he should make sure that the fertilizer should be sorted out before we come to the so-called the delimitation. And which youth did he agree with? Okay. Is it the youth and women? So we are here to bring the chikond, the love, the garamukan, so that Zambians should come to understand that we are controlling our resources, unlike we allow foreigners to take our own birthright, as it were.
Okay, noted. This is once again Voice of the People, and as we get closer to wrap up, you can definitely call us up, send us your messages of your thoughts, your opinions, your contributions as well. That's on 0955 997 997 or on 0979 192 485. We're taking your calls, we're taking your messages right now, and actually we have noticed that we've got the Tonse Alliance, and so there is a saying that there's strength in numbers. Is the leadership movement possibly thinking or open to the idea of forming an alliance with other political parties in the near future?
Thank you very much. Numbers are very good. That we can't dispute from it. But without an ideology which brings you people together, then you are just wasting your time. So as leaders, we are leadership movement. We've been very objective, asking ourselves, when you go to the Registrar of Society, you are not going to find an organization.
Oh, we do have a call on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, Bwanji Bwana.
Naba president bambera bahagainde bamene mukamba. Banuza apa balezi ngoma tu bauze bajairo ngoma freedom moment na baita as a UPND kulibe kukumenya uri mu studio ngo zikambira. Ukachoka hapo Jairo ngoma zaenda umweti ku nyumba tawe ya PF munai kutiliwa matia gasi mu studios. Ma post newspaper anali kuvaliwa, ma primary TV anali kuvaliwa. So bitu kwa simu bione bajairo ngoma bioneka. Masiku ano ni kupanga che family planning yako ndio ni bale wana 20 azirongo kwanza kubadia kuiba za kumenya ungaende Zambia yonse kuambira kurwafura ku Eastern kukamba chitundu chiri chose ngati ndiwe venda ungagulise umasikio kuende market to market no capitalism ni UPND pamene ya fighter siku pamene mukama na load shedding ya fighter bindu bambiri maningi yako tingati muona kuli change kuli bensa utoro ngati mwenda pa town uzada pa bantu bambiri bango gulisa jabe kulibe iwe chane kulibe kupotinga kubala chitenje chane dore chadibindi amesufuna. Otherwise mamene ngakuzile Jairo Nkoma continue talking, but UPND ilipo bizambo kusunganda wa president bahakainde hikiri magupasa security kuti life yako nayo ipitiwe chifuka ndio Mzambia.
Zeko Mogombe. You want to respond? I believe that's Brother Proud.
Yeah, let me appreciate. Brother Proud is, I don't know which doctorate he's doing, but Proud, muziuza vantu dokota wanu. Why si mukamba vinachitika kunyimba kuja? But Proud, mukamba maningi pa violence. But vinachitika kunyimba, vana wanatibula mfumu.
We've got another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. You're through the Voice of the People.
Morning, how are you, moderators there?
Fine, thank you. Your names and where you're calling from?
My name is Philemon from Chitulika, Zambia.
Please go ahead with your question or contribution.
Thank you. Allow me to completely disagree with your guest there, who has opted to mislead this country. Achievement UPND, he is talking about fertilizer. Recently, NCZ will start producing at high capacity. A component was bought recently, just this week. United Fertilizer, 900 million has been offloaded in that plant, which means we will not be importing both urea and D compound. You know, this is a pressing issue that has given us problem in terms of exchange rate, because we've been offloading dollars in a foreign country. Now this time the dollar will not be spent. Will just be will be getting fertilizer within the country. So which means the dollar will appreciate. The other issue here is ZDNS. ZDNS is very productive. In Muchinga, Southern Province, Central Province, they have identified, Northwestern Province, they have identified areas where they will be producing maize at the highest level. So, if he is saying that the ZDNS concept has been plagiarized, no, it's not you who brought the ZDNS. It is Kaunda era, UNIP era. ZNS has been in existence for a long time. So for him to say, no, this idea of ZNS has been pressurized, I think he's misreading the country. What is needed here is solutions. As long as those solutions are good, you can still use it. You know, rather than saying, no, ZNS is our concept, what. So what is needed is development. UPND is for development. That's why you are seeing that CDF has been given equitably, fairly throughout the country. Previously, CDF was given on partisan line, on stronghold of PF. This time, everybody is enjoying CDF. And we are seeing... Hello?
Yeah, many thanks. I think we get the gist of your contribution. Many thanks indeed.
God bless you. People are celebrating in the rural areas because of the unprecedented development, and you are anticipating bumper harvest this year. A bag of meal will be affordable. These opposition parties who have nothing to say.
Many thanks indeed. We'll allow someone else to come through. Good morning. You're the voice of the people. Good morning. Okay. I think that's a bad line that we have there. Maybe you want to respond to the last two callers.
Yeah, thank you very much. Brother Patrick and the listeners out there, there are those of our friends who are having the challenges of this life. We are saying,
good morning. Good morning, you're to the voice of the people.
Good morning, boss.
Morning, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Nicholas Mangara from Kalabo.
Mr. Nicholas, good morning. Please go ahead with your question or contribution for Mr. Jairus Ngoma. We seem to have lost him. As you were saying, Mr. Ngoma.
Yes, thank you very much. Quickly, we want to make it very clear, Brother Patrick, we are not praise singers ourselves. We are leaders. So, my praise singers, vali mchalo chao. Tikambokamba pano, kuti bakamba violence. Wa proud yawa, why is wanakambe vinashitika kupeta uke. Ngati party ya uribe violence. Where a headman, he was beaten, unga kungamba, maunga na nyumba washoka, tenzeko kuja. Why is he pretending today that no, there is no violence in this regime of theirs? Cadres are there and then pa heroes yap. So what we are here for as leadership movement is to spark the minds of the Zambian people that we need to go the route of production. That's our emphasis. And if we are talking, njara sisi wati nduendani, nduwe political kada nduendani, our proud wanabana. And he said, Ngatwazati Kanga proud, who continue talking for his children. Because we need inheritance. Garden whenever we proud, palibe na farm panevalit patch. We want land to be a game changer. And when we speak like this, go to New Kasama, where my president is. It's just some few meters to reach to community house. Just next to our president, Dr. Richard Sirumbe, there is a bare land there. It's going at 200 million kwacha because it's titled 50 by 50, that is. Now, that is not because the president is there, no. It's the value of the title deed. So, if the land can be given the title deed, my grandmother in Inyimba there, automatically that land changes, it becomes expensive, it becomes viable. One can use it to access land to access tractors so that they develop on that land. So if you have people who are so much to themselves, they see nothing wrong. Because our question are you aware that United Chemicals Fertilizer is a subsidiary of China? Are you aware of that? We are talking of nitrogen chemicals of Zambia where we own things of our own. How come you claim Mupanga fertilizer but umpeleka ku Tanzania? Dar es Salaam 30,000 metric tons. Mupanga fertilizer, United Chemicals Fertilizer. Wenzeko kunchwala ceremonies mwenzeko Brother Patrick. Wakamba will be making fertilizer here. But fertilizer is going. So we can't blame United Chemicals Fertilizer. It is a policy of the UPND. We were supposed to be making fertilizer as a country so that poor people in these remote areas are helped. How come today people are sharing medals? Nishi wa pepa fwaka ya branch ba Patrick what consequently tienda bantu wakole wachabi wakamba meda. What is that? By the way, meda is we are all of us. So we are proud. What is insinuating at mo masuka mungabale 20 chikulibi. Ndiye vantikamba hivi muza bantu ati meter fall without any logic. Ndana anga endo nkala na nyumba yake mayuthi wakambile kupeleka bana wao. Why is it that we don't have the production antidote? So imwe wa proud mu bweze mawo ayo yo uza bantu kuti bambo bala chibale.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Okay, you can go ahead. What is your question or contribution?
Your names and where you're calling from before?
I'm come from to southern province, Nsaka.
Okay, please go ahead with your question or contribution. Your name, by the way?
This is Chobekat.
Okay, please go ahead.
Sameni fula nkamba ini kutako encourage wamene wakamba injala singalete njala ngati mvula sikugwa. So you don't get advantage ukamba njala 3 years mvula sikugwa sikugwa. So to finish up njala ifuneka mvula igwe maningi. So don't get advantage to say yeah, lot of njala. Let's to campaign on your other side, not in njala. We are expecting God to bring rain here. Huh? That's why there is a lot of anger that we have in this country.
0979-192-485. As we wind down, you want to respond quickly?
Thank you very much. Vakola mwakuchikankata imwe. Ise tinina mphamvu zokalipira boma ya UPND. Na amene imwe wavota imwe tinina mphamvu yomukalipirani. Va president wenzopita na tumasacheti, tuama cooking oil. Wasi mwenzo kuvalesa? Imwe amene wakuchikankata. Ise tikambati. Imwe vadara ukuli. Noti wabulo tenga lithium. Pane munankala hapo wapasa foreigner. Iyo lithium mfunika mwireta kuboma. Mwane valimira vantu milisi kupeleka ku FRA. You should be a free Zambian to take your resources. Then the government should be stockpiling the resource it has. That is forex, bwana. You cannot develop a country. There is no country which has developed na nkani ama World Bank and the IMF. That's why today, look at a young man at 37 is the best performing president. Captain Traore. He has survived 19 attempts and the world powers are after him. So we are telling you that ise loko mutikali pire imwe vadara uko ise tikamba na vana vanu because mungatresa kamba panjara imwe ndimwe andani mepoti njara ndi amene munachosesa panzanu. So we are going to continue talking because stinga ngai na charo chakuti vikwati vonongeka record ya last year 67,000 vikwati konongeka majority of them ni ngani ya njala tikambe pano atiyai osakamba tikamba tifuna chitukuko chinkalepo not vikwati vizionongeka muza vandu atino bazinkana na mabana 2020 azankala bwanji muntu na bana 2020 alibecho vajesa bana. So that is misplaced priority. Thank you very much.
Mr. Ngoma, as we wrap up, just one final question. Would the leadership movement join any of the existing alliances?
Thank you very much. To be very clear and candid, for now, leadership movement is on its own for a simple reason. We haven't seen any agenda. Remember, Brother Patrick, when we were coming from PF, these people came as an alliance. We didn't ask them that pochosa wa PF mzati terachani. Because President Michael Sata was together with President HH. He said, Mwana, you are under 5 in aenda. And the PF was formed later before UPND. He had to overtook it. The Mazambians wanawa votera Wasata without any alliance. So what was it? Wasata the blueprint of his more money in the pocket. People voted for him. And today, ask the very alliances, what is it that you are bringing on the table? When you go to Register of Society, you are not going to find Tons Alliance. When you go to Register of Society, you are not going to find the UK Alliance. What you are going to find there are individual political parties. So what kind of confusion is that? We cannot join ideas which are not correlating. We as leadership, we are talking about land. No, he has to go. So what? When he goes, what is it that you are bringing? So leadership movement, we are very patient, and if we are to be candid, Patrick and Madam Shekain, the number one corrupt individuals, we are not here to beg for vote. If we are very candid, a leader, remember the Lord Jesus Christ when he found people doing merchandise in church. We are here whipping the voters now to say, number one corrupt individual Zambia munoni voter wa Patrick. Now, Madam Shekai, Wama voter, there's a by-election. Kwana wapaya mbuzi vaenda. Kwana wapaya ngombe, they have nothing to do with ideology. So, Waka voter as a party that will be towing the way we are talking about the land ownership with title deeds, the nationalistic agenda where we control things of our own, unlike we allow foreigners to take charge of our resources. So, in summary, let me.
We have a caller. Oh. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. You're to the Voice of the People.
Yeah, you can pardon me, moderator there. Under 10 seconds, this is Solomon once again from Chitulika, Zambia.
Please go ahead, quickly.
Thank you. Point of correction. He is saying land for foreigners only. No. If you can recall, the head of state has labored over this issue concerning land. When you've got land with minerals, you can partner with a foreigner. You are talking of capital and land. It's how you can do business in partnership. This is done world over. You know, you cannot say no foreigners, no foreigners. Go by United States, even by UK. Those high-rise buildings belong to private sector.
Many thanks. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, you're to the Voice of the People.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Quickly, under 30 seconds. Your names and where you're calling from.
Mukambana chimwene mtonga Nsaka ko fast. Muziva wa muntu ngati uli na njala kuganiza uganza pang'ono wanu va president vathu venzoenda na pamera mumkosi futi again upeza ti pamera ameneja yankhala monga kwa kuti vaista empower yapaka maningi futi yankhala doubled pali ja time ya valungu yenzeko chipi pali time yavo ya dula then again pali time ya valungu tenzo kudya kabiri then time yavo tikudya tiyuzinga calculator where chokapo ni chikulibe kudya muli time ya bali vantu vambiri vambo flying at maimbwa just because of njala kutuma kwa mene ukutinanzera news yakuti venzo flying akaimbwa so va president bali vapanga maskandos yambiri just because of kagodi kasanduka zinki ku airport apo pevenishi which means government yatu tilibe trust government point of print and drama sive inga zi print and drama itali ifupi nishi which means simali capable kuteka country okay mselenze bwino
Ziko. Quickly, in a minute, we'll allow you to respond and we'll wrap up.
Okay, thank you very much. Mwaona Bambo Patrick and Madam Shekaina, this is what we are saying. Zambians are following the happenings. Va president wenzo pita mnatuma pamera. Wakuchikankate wenzo tikalipira pano. So if we are very factual, and what he's saying is true to what we are talking about, for us to do away with this pamera issue, tifunuko utenga mwana huyu, opunzira na osapunzira, taenda naye kuchitukuko, because labor being what it is, aliyense muntu ana talanta kunja huko. So mungatuza tukugwira kakambwira tacho se chizungu muntu pakamwa. Iyo ni colonialism. So our Filimoni ava, I don't know where he stays. That's why namuza nati, we are not here as a praise singer. Our Filimoni, tivamverera chifundo. Because when he's given 100 kwacha to disturb, wherever I go, he follows me, this person. So what I'm telling him now is that we are not talking to people who are well-to-do. We are talking to people who are suffering. What happened, Brother Patrick, to people of Apapa Chongwa, Apapa Kampasa? What happened? And he's telling us, no, there should be. Why are we not dealing with the issue locally? Pachongo within Nsaka. So we are saying such abnormalities can be worked on when a government has got a straightforward policy where your people, the way they are giving you a vote, for vote akulipati ndwe 14. Fuatika chabe vote. Then wakamba CDF. Which country has developed with the CDF? Because the CDF niweka weka chabe mwene tienda niweka weka chabe UPND wane waitenga CDF. Then wazikamba to everyone. If we were a leadership movement, the 36 they are claiming to be, it was going to be pumped into nitrogen chemicals of Zambia, so that we start manufacturing fertilizer. The 156 CDF Land Cruisers yenze kutivuta kuma by elections. Imwe wa Power FM mulibe koloko imozi. Media house, not even one, because we are the ones who are supposed to be monitoring. So it is misplaced priority. That's why ngati tikamba pano, tikamba pachikondi. We mundu ngati ukonda mzako suza uita wa Patrick ngaswanaja tivalesi.
Mr. Ngomo, we have to leave it at that.
Let me give the number so that those who may find time to contact us can have it. The number to give us, to get in touch with us is 0973 60 7500. 0973 60 7500. The other one 0966 57 28 84. 0966 57 28 84. It is support your local team. Local is laka waftala akaimwe no mwine ni nkani ya gara mukani. So iwe ngati ukudya stili na iwe tikamba na uyu muntu amena vutika na pamera mukomboni.